This is my video blog for my media evaluation. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? First of all, we used the convention of short films being quite short and usually under 10 minutes and approximately 5 minutes, as our short film was about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We also used the convention of there being a twist at the end, as we used a twist at the end where the normal romantic story turned into a disastrous fate. We challenged the normal short film convention of using normal film of real people by using the stop motion, and we challenged the stop motion conventions by being sketchy drawings and quite uneven, so it's not like usual stop motions where it's quite smooth. We used the convention of there being hardly any dialogue, so we used no dialogue at all, and we only used the ambient sound of background music like talking and giggling and paper aeroplane sounds and rustling of paper, and we used the score of a ukulele soundtrack. We used 2 characters, which is like the normal conventions of using quite minimal characters, so there's not the need for having a big backstory for any of the characters, and the simple storyline convention, as we only had a simple storyline of 2 characters meeting and basically falling in love. We developed on the convention of creativity within a short film, as we used creativity with the simple storyline that we had and used real objects in our stop motion film, and as it was only drawings, we challenged and developed the convention by putting real objects in it as well instead of only drawings. There was no happy ever after like the convention of a normal romance or rom-com film, as it ended quite bitterly with the pictures being ripped out, and we used a film scene at the end of the film as well as using pictures throughout all of it, so we challenged the convention of there only being pictures in a stop motion. We used props which we created out of everyday objects such as sweet wrappers, paper and string coloured in, so we challenged the normal convention of there being quite a few props but all of the same kind of category. We only had a low budget because we didn't really have much money, so that's using the convention of short films, so we didn't have expensive props or the money to be able to go to faraway destinations to film or anything like that. And we challenged the short film convention and stop motions by drawing each scene by scene and only using about 7 frames per second, as usually stop motions use 12 frames per second and short films use 24 frames per second, so we challenged this to make it more jolty, but it seemed to work good in the end. And our poster was stereotypical of short film posters, and it used the conventions that we've seen, such as using the picture of the film which depicts the whole film in one picture, and it was the main picture with pictures around it and words, and the title being quite big and bold and using colours that work with the film, such as for our film it was black and gold, as that was the colour tint of our film. And we used a tagline which we've seen in a lot of film posters. And our review was a stereotypical design, as it was presented with a lot of words and a lot of reviews on it, and with a lot of quotes being made into bigger writing to kind of try and make people read on. And we used pictures with captions which showed the basic parts of the film, which was using the conventions we found of film reviews, and we made it so it resembled the main conventions of film reviews.